All righty. So we are starting standing today because, right, it's been very cold lately in Winnipeg. And so it's just a great idea to do a little bit of a standing warm up. We're going to do our awareness building one. I think I did this with you a couple of weeks ago. I want your feet, about shoulder distance apart for this exercise. And all we're going to do is we're going to figure out how to draw a figure eight with the thumb side of your hand. And then once you figure out how to draw that figure eight, I want you to play with making it bigger. Now, as it gets bigger, you're allowed to let your heel come off the floor. It does not have to be fast. If you're going into places of pain, ease. Don't be that mean to yourself. Yeah. Now, from here, this is where things get interesting. You're going to try to figure out how to draw that figure eight again, but from your pinky. And it always takes me a little bit of time. There it is. To find the pinky figure eight, or it's more of an infinity sign, right? Because your palm has to face away from you to do this. And then once you get it, let's see how big you can make it again. This will feel potentially more complicated because we're using the back line of our arm way more, which we don't use as much in daily life. And it's part of the reason why we get shoulder issues. Now, let's try this on the other hand. So if you're like me, you picked a good one first. So, right, we're gonna start with the thumb because that's the more natural pathway. We move from the index finger and thumb mostly when we move our hands in space, right? Because we're going to pick stuff up. How big can you make this? Breathe. We're just unwinding the fascia a bit doing this. Yeah, getting it a little bit more balanced with itself. Now, let's go to the pinky and see if you can figure it out on this hand. And somehow the second hand, it's always easier for me to find, probably because that first side is teaching the second side how to find it. Now, if you're having troubles with it, that's okay. Just restart a couple of times. I swear this hand is my fun one. It took me about an hour to figure it out the first time, how to do this pinky. Just one more to each side here. And then just to help us come out of that kind of dizzy place that'll create, I want you to just come center, and we're just going to do a couple of shoulder shrugs. Inhale, lift the shoulders up. Exhale, drop them down. Inhale, up. Exhale, drop them down. One more up. And drop them down. We're going to do just a little bit of a balancing exercise before we go to the floor today. Right now, if you've done this with me before, you'll remember we don't want to be flattening out that front of that hip. You want to have a little bit of softness in the front of the hip. You're going to let one knee come forward. You're going to float your foot up and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's do that on the other side. So let your knee come forward. Float your foot up and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're doing that one more time on each side, keeping softness in the front of the hip. Lift your foot forward. We're holding 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do the other side. The ankle wobble is normal. Yeah, you're not going to try and get rid of that. So hip is soft. Let your knee come forward. Floating up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go down to the floor. We're going to right away go to our rotational breathing. So we're going to be on our side when we get there. Just going to do a minor lighting adjustment here. And right when you're on your side, just double checking that's all the way back, you're going to either take your underneath arm under your head to support your head, or you can have a pillow there. You want your knees in front of you, kind of like you're sitting in a chair. I want you to look at your knees, and I want you to make sure your knees are stacked one on top of the other. Quite often, we're back a little bit. And then you're going to reach that top arm forward, shoulder distant off the floor in front of you. And there's a little bit of connection in the core. It's not lax here. You're going to inhale, point that top hand at the ceiling, turn to look at your hand. Exhale, turn your ribs back as you keep reaching your knees forward. Now, if your hand is anywhere near the floor, you're doing a chest stretch, which is not what we're looking for here. And let's come forward. We're trying to find the rotation of the spine. So inhale, point the hand at the ceiling, turn to look at it. Now keep your hand in alignment with your shoulder as you rotate backwards. Inhale, the knees are still reaching forwards. And exhale, come all the way forward. Inhale, point at the ceiling, turn to look at your hand. Exhale, turn back, keep reaching that top knee forward. Inhale into the back of the ribs. And exhale, coming forward. Let's go to the other side. So right underneath arm, supporting your head, or you have a pillow, knees are in front of you, they're stacked, a little tension in the core, top arm reach forward. You're going to inhale, point that top hand at the ceiling, turn to look at it. Exhale, turn your rib cage backwards as you keep reaching your knees forwards. Inhale into the back of the rib cage. Exhale, come all the way back to where you started. Inhale, point at the ceiling, turn to look at your hand. Exhale, turning backwards. Inhale. Exhale, coming forwards. Two more. Inhale, point at the ceiling, turn to look at your hand. Exhale, turn your ribs backwards. Inhale, hold it. Exhale, coming forwards. One more here. Inhale, point at the ceiling, turn to look at your hand. Exhale, turn your ribs backwards. Inhale, hold. And exhale, coming forward. Beautiful. Let's just pop up onto our hands and knees and do a little bit of our cat stretch just to round out that back a bit. So hands are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips, core is engaged. Take an inhale. Exhale, point the tail down towards the floor, scoop your back up towards the ceiling. Inhale, you're looking at your knees. And exhale, flatten back out again. We'll just do two more of those. Exhale as you round, pulling the belly button in and up to help round your back. Inhale into the back of the rib cage. Exhale, flattening back out again. One more here. Exhale as you pull that tail towards the floor, scoop your back up to the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale, flatten back out again. Let's go on to our backs and see if our spine will find neutral. Yeah. So, right. If you need something extra under your head to make sure your chin isn't lifted, you want it under your head now. You're going to have your legs bent, your feet within the width of the body. And I want you to notice the curves of your spine, right? Ideally, the neck is up, ribs are down. Low back is up. And what I mean by up is there's not a lot of pressure on it, right? That you feel the pressure through the ribs downward into the floor. And you feel, right, the weight of the back of the pelvis and in between feels light, right? Another way to think about that, imagine you have a hot cup of coffee, you balanced it between your belly button and your crotch. And you don't want to spill coffee in either direction. Yeah. So the front of the pelvis is flat-ish. Yeah. Now let's just see if we can find a little bit of neutral shoulder here. So I want you to bring your hands up in front of your chest. Your palms are facing each other. And let's just inhale, reach the fingertips forward towards the ceiling. And exhale, come back to where your collarbones are wide. Inhale, protract. Exhale, come back to where the collarbones are wide. We'll just do one more of those. Forward and back to neutral. Now keep that shoulder in neutral. Exhale, reach your arms back towards the floor above your head. Inhale, come back up in front of your chest. Exhale, reach back. The ribs are heavy. Inhale, bring the hands in front of the chest. One more here. Exhale, reach back. And inhale, hands in front of the chest. We're going to go to a little bit more of a chest stretch. Hands come to the front of the shoulders. Inhale, Point the elbows up to the ceiling. Exhale, take the elbows sideways. That ideally is a bit of a chest stretch. Bring the elbows back up again and back down. Inhale up. Now, if that wasn't a stretch, take your elbows a little closer to your temples before you open, and then close and go back down again. 2 more of these. Inhale up. Exhale sideways. Inhale up. Exhale down. 1 more here. Inhale up. Exhale sideways. Inhale up. And exhale down. Let's just straighten out your arms. We'll do a couple of head nods. So sense the weight of your head on whatever it's currently resting on. And I want you to gently nod your chin towards your chest and release back to neutral. Now, as you nod, I really want you to think about reaching the top of the head away from the top of the shoulders in order to gently open or flatten the curve of your neck backwards. It's gentle, and we're looking to feel the tug in our neck kind of right at the very top, right near where it meets the skull. So it's a small movement. If you do it big, you won't get what I'm looking for. Inhale, little nod, and release. Because we're savvy Pilates folks, let's just bring our hands behind our head. I will reinforce neutral shoulder later on in class. So right elbows are in your peripheral vision. Pelvis is heavy. In other words, that bone between your butt cheeks feels quite heavy and wide. Low back is light. Back of the ribs are heavy all the way down to behind your belly button. Inhale, little nod of the chin. Exhale, curl up to look at your knees. Inhale, hold that. And exhale, back down again. Inhale, nod. Exhale, round through the rib cage. As you come up, that mid-back area has more pressure into the floor. Inhale, and exhale, back down again. Inhale, nod. Exhale, curl up. Pubic bone is reaching away from your belly button. Inhale, hold. Exhale, back down again. Inhale, nod. Exhale, curl up. So we're keeping that low back in neutral. Inhale, do you feel a stretch in the back of your ribs? Exhale, back down again. 1 more of those. Inhale, nod. Exhale, curl. As you inhale, do you feel a stretch in the back of your ribs? And exhale, back down again. Good, rest. And if you're tight in the back of the ribs, that will be why you feel that. Now, what we're going to do from here is let's just flip onto our tummies and do a little bit of breaststroke prep. Now, when we do our breaststroke prep, we want to have our legs close together, our kneecaps pointing at the floor, belly buttons in a little bit, right? So if you pulled your belly button in as hard as you could, that would be 100%. I want that engagement around your belly button to be about 50%. Now, all you're going to do from here is inhale, slide your shoulder blades away from your ears. That brings the shoulder to a more neutral position. Then you're going to exhale, come up, and as you come up, your shoulder blades almost feel like a waterfall going down your back. Inhale, hold it, and exhale back down again. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. As you come up, you're looking for that kind of waterfall feeling. Inhale, hold, and exhale back down again. Now, you're not actually feeling the shoulder blades going further down your back. They do slightly. Let's go back up again. But it's all the tissue around those shoulder blades that create that waterfall feeling. And come back down again. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, back down again. 1 more. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. And back down again. Let's take your arms alongside your body. Your palms are going to face the ceiling. So right, that shoulder rolled forward is that protracted position. We're going to inhale, turn our palms inwards to face our thighs, opening the collarbones wide. Exhale, lifting up. Shoulder blades feel like that waterfall down your back. Take an inhale. And exhale back down again. Inhale, turn your palms inwards. Exhale, lifting up. Inhale, reaching out the top of the head. Exhale, back down again. 2 more of these. Inhale, turn your palms in. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, back down again. One more here. Inhale, turn your palms in. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. And exhale down. Let's just press back into our shell stretch. I know there's a third arm position. We'll save it for another day. We're going to sit back over your heels, little side to side rock, either through your hips, your shoulders, or your head. Yeah, maybe all three. And remember, if you have a tendency towards sore knees, you're better off on your back with your knees hugged into your chest. So it's time for the 100. So we're going to go onto our back and see if we can find neutral again. Now, here's the fun thing. If your neck is sore today, leave your head on the floor. Yeah, cold weather will quite often tighten up the upper trapezius muscles and all the stuff on the back of the neck. And so you don't have to lift your head for the 100, but if you want to, you can. Just be nice to yourself. And if you're going to leave your head down and you like something under your head, have it there right now. Right? If your low back has a tendency to be sore, you don't have to lift your feet off the floor either. Particularly if you have nerve pain down your leg, don't lift your feet. Anyways, let's do this exercise. So you're going to take an inhale to prepare. You're going to exhale, imprint. Remember, that's that thing where we use our deep core to get our low back closer to the floor, but is doing nothing here. Now you're going to lift one leg at a time up to tabletop if you're picking them up. You're going to inhale, nod, exhale, curl up to look at your knees and go in, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 10. Sniff, 2, 3, 4, 5, blow, 2, 3, 4, 20. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 30. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 40. Now remember, if you want to make it harder, straighten your legs. Out, 2, 3, 4, 50. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 60. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 70. If that gets too easy, take the legs lower. Out, 2, 3, 4, 80. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 90. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 100. Take an inhale. Exhale, we're going to lay down, hugging your knees into your chest. Now, if you didn't have your feet off the floor, leave your feet on the floor still. And everybody, we're just going to play with a little rock side to side through those knees, just to help the fascia be a little bit more balanced. So we're going to come to a seated position, and we're going to do a little bit of work around the shoulder today. So I don't care what you're sitting on, as long as you're sitting up straight. So if you want to sit on a yoga block, I have some folks that actually get up on a chair for this exercise. But if you're comfortable sitting up straight with your legs straight out in front of you, or diamond or crossed, whatever makes you happy. Now, all we're going to work on is the external rotation of the humerus bone. And I want you to hold your hands out in front of you, almost like you're holding a box. And you want a right angle at that elbow. Now, right when we're trying to have our neutral shoulder, we're not going to let those shoulders be forward. We're going to open the collarbones, and we're going to find a little support through the core. Now, you're trying to keep that upper arm bone still and just pull the back of your hands away from each other and bring them in closer. Exhale, pull them apart, and inhale in closer. So, right, what we're looking for is as that hand goes out, that you're feeling work across the back of the shoulder, right where my fingers are. Yeah. Now, quite often, the reason we won't feel that is two reasons. One, we have the elbows too far back, or two, as we're moving, the elbows are moving. So if you're not feeling it, I want you to, find those nice wide collarbones and just ease your elbows further forward, and then try to keep them there as you open and close your arms. And If you're keeping that elbow still, you will start to feel it on the back of the shoulder. Let's do 2 more here. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Of course, there's some core engagement and rest. Now, from here, let's go to our spine twist. So, right, we're going to take our hands, put them against our ribs. Now, right now, I just internally rotated my arm. That's where we live most of the time, which is why the back of the shoulder gets so, it loses its tone so much. So what I want you to think about when you have your hands against your rib is that the bottom of that arm, that upper arm bone is kind of rolling forward, and that will help you find the back of the shoulder. Find some support in your core. We're going to use 3 exhales to turn. You're going to inhale to prepare and go exhale, 2, 3, inhale, center. Other side, 2, 3, inhale, center. So once again, just like our rotational breathing, this is just about the rib cage moving and the pelvis trying to stay quiet. Exhale, 2, 3, inhale, center. Really reach out the top of your head as you do it. Inhale, center, last 1, 2, 3, and center. We're going to do one more version of this exercise today. I want you to extend your arms out. Now, if you wiggle your fingertips, ideally you can see them in your peripheral vision. If you take them too far back, your shoulder's not in neutral anymore, right? So you find that nice wide collarbone. You can see your fingertips in your peripheral vision when you wiggle them. Same exercise. You're going to inhale to prepare, turn your ribs, exhale, 2, 3, inhale, center. As you turn, you'll see your hand, right? Exhale, 2, 3, inhale, center. So if you can't see your hand, that's another indication you're taking your arms too far back. Exhale, 2, 3, inhale, center. Last one, reaching up the top of your head as you turn and center. We're going to round out our backs after that. We're going to do a little bit of spine stretch forward. Now, legs can either be straight, shoulder distance apart, or diamond shaped in the legs. Because remember, most important thing, we're not sitting here, we're up nice and tall on those sit bones. Now, I want you to imagine your back's on the wall behind you. Take an inhale. Exhale, start with your head, round forward through your rib cage, sucking your belly button in and up. Inhale into your back, and exhale, come back up again. Take an inhale. Exhale, as you round forward, you're aiming the top of your forehead between your knees. Inhale. And exhale back up again. The elbows are bent in this exercise. As you go forward, they stay bent. Your hands might slide a little bit towards your ankles. And exhale back up again. One more like this. Exhale, rounding forward. Inhale. And exhale, coming back up again. 2 breaths. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. One more. And up. Let's go onto our back. We're going to do a slow roll down to get there. Now, your legs can either be bent or straight for this. I like bent because my low back is quite tight. We're going to use a 10 count to go down onto our back. You're going to have some tone in your core. You're going to take an inhale. Exhale, curl backwards off your sit bones. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And it's okay if you kind of fell partway down. That's just stiffness issues through your back. The more you play with this, the better that will get. You're really thinking about keeping the ribs rounded as you do this. Now, right, we'll come back to it on another day. Let's do a little bit of oblique work right now. So I want you to pop your hands behind your head again, like we did for our ab prep. Your elbows want to be in your peripheral vision. Now, if you want to make this more challenging for yourself, you're going to find your imprint and lift your legs to tabletop. Everybody needs a little bit of tone in that core, even if you haven't lifted your legs. Now you're going to inhale, nod, exhale, curl up to look at your knees. Inhale here, exhale, rotate your rib cage to one side. Inhale, stay high in the middle. Exhale, go to the other side, stay high in the middle, and go back down again. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, think shoulder to knee. Then other side, shoulder to knee, and back down again. Exhale, curl up. Inhale. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, back down again. One more here. Exhale as you curl up. Inhale. Exhale, rotate. Other side. And back down again. Now, if you have your feet up, let's put them on the floor. I want everybody to open your elbows sideways. And we're just going to rock your knees side and center here, just to get a little bit more of a release through the chest. Yeah. And you might be getting a stretch through your back or your hips too, and that's okay, right? We're all one unified unit, right? So, you know, things are working, things are pulling against each other all the time. One more to each side here. Now, we're going to go to a little bit of single thigh stretch. We've been doing that lately. That's the one that we do in the 100 where we're straightening one leg at a time. But I'm going to give you a little hint today as to how to track your legs straight for this. And that is that when you do this, if you put your inside hand on your knee and your outside hand on your ankle, that helps the leg track straight the whole time. But it's a bit tricky because you're having a switch where your hands are the whole time. So I'm going to call that today. If you choose to just grab one leg at a time with a less complicated grab, feel free to. Now, remember, this exercise can be done with your head down, just like our 100 can. I want you to take a moment, go, am I in neutral? Because that's always a great thing to check in on. Then take an inhale, exhale, find your imprint. Lift one leg at a time up to tabletop. Inhale, nod, exhale, curl up. Now you're going to put the inside hand on your knee, outside hand on your ankle, straighten your other leg. And we're going to switch. Now, if you want to stretch your back, you're going to pull that knee into your chest. If you want to make it harder, you stop with your knee further from your chest. And we're going to go 4, 3, 2, last one. And let's hug those knees into your chest again. Right now, if you're having nerve pain, hugging your knees into your chest, like sciatic pain, put your feet on the floor and rock there rather than rocking with your knees into your chest. Yeah, because this would be a lot of pressure on the sciatic nerve if you're having sciatic issues. Yeah, so let's from here do just a little bit of our shoulder bridge. We've been working on the activation of the back of the leg to make that lift happen, right? That press of the foot into the floor, the feeling like you're pulling your heels from your bum or in your knee angle and then lifting. Yeah, so we're going to see if we can integrate that into the exercise without such a setup today. If you have something extra in your head right now, let's get rid of it because, right, we're lifting the butt. So, right, let's find our neutral. We'll do a slow setup on the first one. So right now, pelvis is heavier than feet. I want you to take an inhale, exhale, press your feet into the floor. Feel how your pelvis just got lighter. Feel like you're trying to pull your heels from your bum without really moving them. And then think about bringing your knees a little closer together. That's more of a thought than a thing. If you got a little shake going on, yay, we're making some changes. Take an inhale, exhale. Lift up, stacking your knees over your ankles. Inhale. Exhale. Let's go back down again. Take an inhale. Exhale. Press your feet in the floor as you lift. Feel like you're pulling your heels from your bum. Your knees have a narrow knee angle. Take an inhale. And exhale back down again. We're going to do 2 more of those. Take an inhale. Exhale. Press your feet in the floor as you lift. Feel like you're pulling your heels from your bum. Your knees are staying narrow. Take an inhale. And exhale back down again. Now that narrow knee angle doesn't mean they're touching. One more here. Inhale, exhale, press your feet in the floor. Lift up, stacking knees over ankles. Are you pulling your heels from your bum and having that narrow knee angle? And back down again. That narrow knee angle just helps our inner thigh be more active. Now we're going to do a little add-on. And what we're going to do when we're at the top today is we're going to either lift one heel at a time off the floor, alternating legs. We do 3 on each side, or we're going to take the leg to tabletop and down. What we're working on is making sure that the butt is engaged on the leg with the foot on the floor. We're trying not to twist the pelvis. So back to neutral, find your core, open your collarbones, take an inhale. Exhale, lift up, stacking your knees over your ankles. You're going to inhale, lift one foot, exhale, put it down. It could be tabletop or just your heel and put it down. Inhale, lift, exhale, down. Other side and down. One more on each side here and down. Inhale, lift, exhale, down. Take an inhale and exhale, put your butt back on the floor. Now, that might have made your hamstrings a little upset. We'll give them a bit of a release in a moment here. Let's just release out our low back a little bit. If you'd like something extra under your head, I want you to pop it under your head. And so our arms can't be part of this exercise. I want you to bring your hands to your forehead with your palms facing the ceiling. I want you to find your imprint. Lift your legs up to tabletop, but get your feet higher than your typical tabletop, right? We're not at that right angle. Knees are a little bit deeper to your chest. The feet are a little higher. And then I want you to cross your ankles. Your knees are an open window. Now, if you've had sciatic pain lately, skip this exercise. We're going to take an inhale to prepare here. You're going to exhale, point your tail up towards the ceiling, sinking your ribs into the floor. And then inhale, put your tail down. Exhale as you curl. Now, is your neck and shoulders tightening? And back down again. Ideally, they're not. If they are, you're trying to do it way too big. This is just a little curl to stretch out the back. One more here. Exhale, curl. And inhale, release. Let's cross your ankles the other way. We're going to do 5 more. Take an inhale. Think about the spine doing the movement, not the legs. Exhale. Pull your pubic bone towards your belly button. Inhale, release. Exhale, curl. Inhale, release. Ribs sink into the floor as you curl and release. Neck and shoulders are still really calm and quiet. And release. And let's place your feet down on the floor. We're going to do a little bit of side leg kick to make those hamstrings feel happier after that shoulder bridge exercise we did a moment ago. So what I want you to do is I want you to lay on your side. Now, I'm just going to just adjust where the iPad is a little bit so I don't have to be quite so close to my vertical frame on my reformer. There we go. Okay, so we're going to be on our side and we're going to have our legs piked forward at that 45-degree angle. Now, remember, when we're in neutral, we want the side of the waist off the floor, not the side of the ribs. So, right, you want to feel like that top sit bone is reaching out away from the top of your head. And if you can't get the side of the ribs down, you got the pelvis rolled back too far. You got to get it a little further forward. Now, top hand can be down for balance. You're going to lift your top leg up. You're going to kick it forward twice. Going inhale, inhale, exhale, point your foot and pull it behind you. And forward, inhale, inhale, exhale, reach back. Now, as you kick forward, you're thinking about that sit bone reaching away from the top of your head the whole time. And that will actually help isolate the pull to the back of the leg instead of going into your low back. Inhale, inhale. Exhale, reach back. Now, is the side of your waist still off the floor? In. Exhale, reach back. One more here. In, and reach. Now, we're going to be a straight line from our head to our feet. Our hips are stacked. So you want to think about that top ASIS point, what we conventionally think is hip bone. If it was a flashlight, it's not going to point straight at the wall in front of you. It's going to angle down a little bit. You'll feel like you're a little bit on the front of your greater trochanter, which is this bumpy bit on the outside of your thigh bone. Now from here, right, remember the side of the waist is off the floor. You're going to lift that top leg up, flex your foot, bring it down, point your foot, reach up, flex your foot, bring it down, point your foot. Now, as you're working, you want to feel that there's a sense of reach out your top of your head and the leg that's moving. Of course, the bottom leg as well, but mostly that top leg. Lift, flex, bring it down, point. One more here, lift, flex, bring it down, point. We're going to do a little fun add-on. You're going to lift up, you're going to turn your knee out, parallel, in, parallel. Pelvis tries not to move, out, parallel, in, parallel. Notice it's not big, out, parallel, in, parallel, one more, out, parallel, and in, and parallel, and let's take it down. We're going to do this on the other side. So part of what's tricky about that out, in game is that our body wants to rock back and forth. We're just trying to find it in the hip joint, and it's quite small for most of us. So, right, we're going to start with our kicks. So let's bring those legs forward at your 45-degree angle. Feet are flexed. Side of the waist is off the floor. Side of the ribs isn't. So if you feel like you can't get the ribs down, you got your hip too far back. You're going to lift the top leg up, kick it forward twice, going inhale, inhale. Exhale, point your foot and pull it behind you. And forward, inhale, inhale. Exhale, point your foot and pull it behind you. In, exhale, reach back. And in, exhale, reach back. In, exhale, reach back. Two more, in, and reach. Last one, in, and reach. We're going to go to a straight line from our head to our feet. Hips are stacked. So, right, remember that top leg is reached out enough that you feel the side of the waist is off the floor. If you haven't, but the side of the ribs are on the floor. And if they don't want to be on the floor, you got that top hip rolled back too much. You got to roll it forward slightly. Now you're going to lift the top leg up, flex your foot, bring it down, point your foot, reach up, flex your foot, bring it down, point your foot. Inhale as you go up, and exhale as you come down. Inhale as you go up, and exhale as you come down. Inhale up, exhale down. Two more up and down. Last one up and down. Now here comes the fun one. You're going to lift up just to hip height, and you're going to turn out, parallel, in, parallel. Out, parallel, in, parallel. Are you breathing out, parallel, in, parallel? One more, out, parallel, in, and parallel. Let's take the leg down. We're going to do a bit of a release for that. So I want you to pop onto your back. If you like something extra under your head, pop it under your head. Take your feet to the width of your mat, and then just drop one knee into the middle. Pick it up, drop your other knee into the middle. Pick it up. And this ideally is giving you a little bit of a pull through the outside of the hip where we just worked it quite a bit with that fun little out and in game. Yeah. Just one more to each side here. And then let's flip onto our tummy. And we're going to do a little bit of single leg extension because we haven't done it lately. So let's bring our hands under our forehead. I want your legs close together with your kneecaps pointing down. I want you to find that place where you feel like the weight is on the middle of your breastbone. And then I want you to find that 50% engagement of your core. Now, did you tighten your shoulders to do that? If you did, right, just open the collarbones wide again. Now, from here, all I want you to do, right, we're trying to wake up right where your thigh and your butt meet. Not the whole cheek. You'll probably feel it in your whole cheek, but what we're trying to identify is what I like to call the thud, and feel tensioning there to make this happen. So pelvis is going to try and stay square. You're going to inhale, pull your pubic bone forward towards the floor. You're going to exhale, reach out one foot, lifting, keeping the leg long, lifting up a little bit. Now, ideally, you're feeling right where your thigh and your butt meet, doing something. And let's go back down again. Now, if your whole thigh came off the floor, you tried to lift way too high. That's not what we're looking for. So inhale, pubic bone forward, same side. You're going to exhale, lift it up. Do you feel the tensioning where the thigh and the butt meet? And let's go back down again. Inhale, pubic bone forward. Exhale, lifting up. Inhale, hold it. And exhale, back down again. One more here. Inhale, pubic bone forward. Exhale. Can you feel kind of a crease right where your thigh and your butt meet working? And come back down again. Now let's see if we can find it on the other side. So, right, inhale, pubic bone forward. Exhale, other leg lifts. Inhale, and exhale back down again. Inhale, pull your pubic bone forward. Exhale, lift. Now, does it feel more like it's working more quickly on this side, or maybe the other side was quicker? Inhale, pull your pubic bone forward. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold your leg, it's still straight. And back down again. So it's not about trying to get the leg high. Inhale, pubic bone forward. Exhale, lift. So your knee is coming slightly off the floor. And back down again. Good. Rest. We'll do a little rock through the hips. And then we're going to see if we can find this on the 2 breath. Now it's going into your low back. Your pubic bone is not staying forward. Yeah. So belly buttons in a little bit, shoulders out of the ears. Inhale, pull the pubic bone forward. Exhale, lift one leg. Inhale, down. Same leg, lift and down. Do you feel the work right where the thigh and the butt meet? And down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Let's do the other side. Inhale, pubic bone forward. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. 2 more, lift and down. Last one, lift and down and rest. Little rock of the hip side to side. And let's do a little bit of swan dive prep while we're down here. So I want you to open your legs to your V shape. Now they're going to stay within the width of your mat if you're on a mat. You're not going wider. You're going to take your hands beside your head. You're going to have your belly button in that 50%. You might already feel your thud doing something just because of where we've positioned ourselves. Now you're going to inhale, slide your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, come up onto your forearms, then use your arms and your bum to come higher. The whole front of the torso is off the floor as you take your inhale and come back down again. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades away from your ears. Exhale, coming up into a banana shape. Inhale, collarbones are wide. Exhale, back down again. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, as you come up, reach out your toes to help that foot do something. And come back down again. One more here. Inhale, slide your shoulder blades. Exhale, extending up. Inhale, hold it. And exhale down. Let's go to our shell stretch. Sitting back over your heels, rounding out your back. Scoop your belly button in. Now remember, if your knees aren't happy, lay on your back and hug your knees into your chest. Yeah. Little rock side to side here just to help ease out some of the tension, because right, we want our tissue to have extensibility where it can, go to a length, right? But we also want it to be able to come back. And the gentle little rocking stuff I have you folks doing is to try and even out the tone between being able to stretch all the way, find some stiffness, but also be able to come back into shape. So we're just going to do one more exercise today. And we're just going to do a little bit of mermaid because it's nice to put a little side banding on things. So you're going to sit. You can have your legs crossed, diamond. If your hips don't like this outward rotation, you can have your legs straight, but they're wide. And remember, we want to be sitting up straight. We don't want to be down here. And if you're so tight in your hips that you can't sit up straight, get yourself up on something so that you do. You're going to bring your hands beside you. You're going to inhale, lift one hand up towards the ceiling. Exhale, side bend, both sit bones stay down. Inhale, stack your spine up. Exhale, release your arm down. Inhale, reach up. Now as you side bend, reach your hand for the wall, not the floor, the wall. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, side bend. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, up and release. Just one more here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, side bend. Stacking up bottom to top and release. Last one. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, up and exhale, release. I'm going to say thanks for hanging out with me today. And I look forward to connecting with you again real soon.